Hello students. Today we are going to study about Wheatstone bridge, its principle and potentiometer. So first of all, let us see what is Wheatstone bridge. Wheatstone bridge is actually a combination of four resistances. Here it is shown P, Q, R and S. Under balance condition, the balance condition is when the ratio P by Q is equal to R by S, then no current flows through the galvanometer. The galvanometer current is written as Ig. So here is a source, a battery of EMF E. The current I is flowing. It is being divided into I1 and I2. Here the current I1 at the junction splits into Ig and the rest is I1 minus Ig. At this junction I2 combines with Ig, so from resistance S the current flowing is I2 plus Ig, and at this junction the currents combined, again the net current becomes I. So let us apply Kirchhoff's law for mesh 1 and mesh 2. For mesh 1, let us apply Kirchhoff's law in mesh 1 in clockwise fashion. So we are moving in the direction of main current, so I1 into P is with negative sign since it is in same direction, and the potential drop across galvanometer is Ig into G, again in same direction, so it is again negative, and potential drop across resistance R, since it is in opposite direction to the direction main direction, so it is plus I2R is equal to 0. As in balance condition, current flowing through galvanometer is 0, so the equation modifies to minus I1 into P plus I2 into R is equal to 0. So I1P is equal to I2R. Now let us apply Kirchhoff's law in the second mesh. I have taken the second mesh and moving in again clockwise fashion. So from Q, the main current is along the direction of mental current, so the potential drop is negative. Through S, main current is opposite to direction of mental current, so it is positive. Through galvanometer it is negative, so the overall equation is written this way. Again Ig is 0 at balance condition, so on simplifying we are having minus I1 into Q plus I2 into S is equal to 0. So I1 into Q is equal to I2 into S. Now if you divide these two equations, so we are having P by Q is equal to R by S. So this is the principle of Wheatstone bridge. The device which is based on Wheatstone bridge is meter bridge. Here meter bridge consists of a wooden board consisting of 1 meter long constant 10 or manganese wire. These thick strips are of copper, as copper is good conductor of electricity. Here RB implies resistance board in which a known value of resistance is taken and S is unknown resistance. So on completing the circuit in the same way as that of Wheatstone bridge, under balance condition, this is jockey. Balance condition is obtained when no current is obtained through the galvanometer. If you modify the Wheatstone bridge, it is the same as shown here. So under balance condition, when no current is flowing through the galvanometer, L corresponds to resistance P and the rest of the length 100 minus L corresponds to resistance Q. So as per formula of resistance, we know resistance R is equal to rho L by A. So in case of R it is P, so P is equal to rho into L by A, and regarding Q, so Q is equal to rho into 100 minus L by A. So under balance condition, since we know P by Q is equal to R by S, so if you substitute R by S is equal to P by Q, So what is left is L upon 100 minus L. So the relation now modifies to S is equal to 100 minus L by L whole into R. R is the known resistance from resistance box. So this is how you can calculate the value of unknown resistance. Again, if you had to find out the resistivity of this unknown resistance, you have to apply R is equal to rho L by A. Substituting the value of resistance from this relation, you can find resistivity. So you can find the unknown resistance, you can find resistivity, and in the same way, if you are having two resistances, you can put them in series to get the equivalent value of series combination, and you can put them in parallel here again to get the parallel equivalent. Now further moving towards potentiometer, just going through this simple circuit. Here is a source of EMF E having internal resistance R and an external load resistance capital R, through which a potential difference V has been established. So V is equal to IR. So applying Kirchhoff's law in clockwise fashion, so it is plus E minus IR is equal to 0, where potential difference across the resistor V is equal to IR. So we are having E minus V is equal to I into small r. So modify the relation for small r and substitute I from this relation. So we are having R is equal to E by V by V, E minus V by V whole into R. So this is the formula to get the internal resistance in case of potentiometer. Now let us see potentiometer. So here the first application of potentiometer is to find the internal resistance. Potentiometer is actually a device which is based on potential gradient. Potential gradient implies potential drop per unit length. So it is potentiometer. It is a wooden board in which a wire of constant 10 or magnet is taken in this way, and a meter scale is attached to calculate the value of length. A potential gradient is established by using an external source, which is battery B. A rheostat is used to vary the current, and ammeter to measure the current. Now in order to measure the internal resistance, I had used the same circuit which I had explained earlier. So we have the formula R is equal to E by V minus 1 in whole into R. Here R is the known resistance from resistance box. So when switch S is, here it is switch S, when switch S is off, EMF E will be balanced. So E is equal to potential gradient into balancing length, and when switch S is on, the potential difference across these 2 points will be balanced. So V is equal to potential gradient into balancing length. So you can divide these two. E by V is equal to L1 by L2. So substituting the value of E by V, so we get R is equal to L1 by L2 minus 1 whole into known resistance from resistance box. So this is the way to find the internal resistance of any source. The second application is to compare the EMF. Again the same circuit. Source B is connected across the potentiometer to develop the potential gradient. So the potential gradient is given by potential drop per unit length. So if you first connect source E1, it will be balanced in some distance L1. So E1 is equal to potential gradient into balancing length L1. Again if you connect E2, it will be E2 is equal to potential gradient into balancing length. If you divide these two, the ratio of length will give the ratio of the EMFs of the two sources. Since no current is drawn in measuring the EMF, so not the terminal potential difference but the EMFs of the two sources are measured. Thank you.